From the AfterBuzz Studios in Los Angeles, California, and streaming live on Ustream, this is AfterBuzz TV for The Walking Dead. We'll break down tonight's episode and get you all the latest news and gossip about The Walking Dead. If you'd like to buzz in on tonight's show, you can buzz us at 424-256-1729. That's 424-256-1729. And now, picking up where the show leaves off and the buzz continues, it's AfterBuzz TV for The Walking Dead.
Nice. All right. Hey, everybody, thank you for joining us for another AfterBuzz Walking Dead podcast, Season 2, Episode 6, entitled Secrets. I'm your host, John Comerford. I'm joined in Studio B by young phenom Ben Bottomley. As well as, what's that?
Tongue twister.
Yeah, I almost didn't get that out. And then, of course, we got Phil Zvitek, producing, editing, and hosting, and everything else extraordinary.
Yeah, my cue was a little bit off today.
But I'm glad you had the music in there. That was nice.
And then, unfortunately, YouTube then just all of a sudden stopped buffering.
Yeah, what can we do about that?
I don't know.
All right, well, I want to start off today with the first scene, because as opposed to last week, where it didn't seem like it fit in at all, this week's, obviously, they tied in why the walkers, or at least what they're doing with the walkers in the barn. I thought that was nice. But it was strange to see Carl up and at him. All of a sudden, it was almost like a miraculous recovery. Carl's up, he's doing fine, and it was just yesterday he was lying in bed, on his deathbed, basically.
Well, it was nice to see a passage of time, you know what I mean?
But it wasn't a passage in time in terms of days. It didn't seem like that. It seems like they're searching for Sophie every day, so it seemed like it was the next day, and all of a sudden he's up and at him.
Yeah.
That seemed odd.
It was promising to me.
That's what I mean. It was promising, but it didn't really prove very fruitful at the end of it.
Yeah, that's true.
So, but it was nice. Okay, so I like the little hen thing. They got the chicks out there. They got no mom and all this other stuff. Carl's concerned about it. And then we find out why they don't have a mom. The chicks don't have them. And here's the thing I'm curious about. So they're breaking the legs of the hens, so throwing them in the barn so the zombies can go after. Do zombies die? I mean, I thought the only way to kill them.
Do they need to be fed?
Yeah, I mean, obviously they need at some level, because that's the only reason why they exist is to feed. But I thought it was interesting. They're so worried about
By the way,
dying.
Speaking of
they're fattening them up or just keeping them awake or alive, so to speak. I use that in quotes. Go ahead.
Fun pop culture references. For those of you fans of Big Bang Theory on CBS, they kind of spoke to the point about if zombies don't eat. Basically, it's a season 4 episode that exactly speaks about the walkers and like if they.
What are they saying? Do you remember?
It's kind of funny what their takes are.
So if zombies don't eat, what happens to them? Do they just lose weight? Do they wither away and die? Can they die of starvation, or do you have to kill them by hitting them in the head or shooting an arrow through the brain?
Yeah,
curious. What are the rules?
I'd like to know.
The rule is, we know the rule is you have to kill them with
you
brain.
kill them in the face.
Yeah, so
until they die.
That's right. It sounds like they're fattening them up. But thankfully, later on in the episode, we get to learn why. So this episode being entitled Secrets, I thought it should have been more secrets revealed, because we learned more about what was being secret rather than what was being kept secret. So I thought that was interesting. So in speaking to that, Herschel, we finally learned why he's got a bunch of walkers in his barn, because one of them is his wife and the other is his stepson. Which you kind of go, oh, I see. He still thinks that there's a possibility that some miracle might happen, and they might either.
Because, again, for that, I kind of like what you and I pondered last week, John, was the fact that you're a doctor, so stop wait for the miracle and make that miracle.
Yeah, exactly. That's what we were hoping for, but it didn't seem like that's what's happening. It's like I don't think he's doing anything. At least they didn't show anything. Yeah. I don't think he's doing anything to create that. He can't bring himself to kill something because he thinks they're people. They're sick.
Yeah, he still sees it as a sickness.
Exactly.
He thinks it's a curable one.
Yeah, you don't kill somebody who's got Parkinson's or whatever it is. I can't remember the argument he used, but you don't kill somebody with schizophrenia is what he says. Yeah. Then he considers or likens being a walker to somebody with a mental disease. So he can't bring himself to kill his wife or stepson, which I completely understand. But it seems odd that he keeps. And of course, Maggie lets on later that their neighbors or at least people they know are on the barn here. So that's why they haven't killed them. Which I guess that would be tough. But I don't. It's funny that not funny, but it's unusual that this is why he's decided to keep them all and keep them alive by throwing them a chicken or two every now and then. Because I didn't really say. He's like, how many people are in there? How many walkers are in there? They're like 10 or 20.
Plenty.
Yeah,
there's a lot.
So
definitely.
yeah, here's a few chickens. Let's keep you going. Don't want you to starve, waste away to nothing. Yeah. So
isn't that more cruel though, where you just it's like, okay, here, fight amongst yourself?
Yeah, kind of. I mean, and the other thing is so I get you can't bring yourself to kill your wife and your stepson, even though they really aren't what you remember them as. But to keep them alive in that condition, is that any better? Because who knows? I don't know. That's a tough call. Thoughts?
Well, it's the whole thought of is it better to be a vegetable versus you just pull the plug?
See, I would have said, if that happens to me, just put a bullet in my brain, put me down, I'm done. So I would not want to be kept around in that condition.
Yeah.
So for me anyway. So I don't know why he does it, or how he can do it.
Well, I mean, for me, it's interesting. At the beginning of all this secrecy, Glenn was the sort of secret holder.
Yeah.
And it was funny, and then eventually it almost kind of wised up. The show wised up, and was like, all right, Glenn can't actually be the secret holder. We have to give that responsibility. We have to pass
it on to somebody more wise or old, as Glenn says.
Because old is synonymous with wise.
And speaking to what you were just saying, I mean, Maggie said the same things about him. Is that everybody looks at Glenn. I mean, even the show looked on as Glenn is like, we shouldn't give him all the secrets. We got to have him tell everybody else. Yeah. So even the show writers were thinking Glenn shouldn't have all this responsibility. And Maggie comes in later and says, I can't see you turning into them because you're basically your leader. All that other stuff she's saying about to Glenn, and that I don't want you turning into them. So even she sees him. There's a walker down the well that's sending Glenn down, and she's trying to say he's better than that and all that other stuff. So, but the one thing we've been talking about this before. In fact, I think I even said it last week, maybe the week before, is that Glenn is guileless, and it just so this week Dale said he has no guile. So clearly that's coming across nicely. So what do you think of Glenn going in? Do we like him? I thought he had a weird. I mean, Maggie is just nuts this week. I didn't understand it. What the hell? Poor Glenn, I felt bad for him. He's just rocking a hard place, and he does have no guile. It's like, why are you talking to a guy that you know is not going to keep a secret? Not that he wouldn't want to, but that he's horrible. He's obviously horrible. He doesn't want to put anybody in a bad spot.
That's when you just kind of. She should have, because first off, it sounded like she told him the secret, and then he was like, oh god. Yeah. He found out by accident. So that's when you use the old forget-me-now pills, aka roofies. If your dad's a doctor.
Thank you, Phil, for bringing that in.
I mean, we're using all these medications. You might as well just use those.
I think you're bringing in your history a little bit too much there. I'm not exactly sure. I want to know why you know about that.
I know about that because it was made funny on Arrested Development.
Okay.
There was a whole episode dedicated to that. But I don't know, Maggie, the whole tripping out thing.
Yeah, she says, first of all, he didn't even invite her to go. She decided to go with him to the pharmacy. So I don't know what she's all mad at him about. Because if she just shut up, she wouldn't even gone with him.
I mean, to be honest with you, it almost shows the immaturity of Maggie. Because, I mean, Ben, correct me if I'm wrong, that's 14-year-old girl behavior. Correct? Yeah. That's what it tells me. Honestly, because that's not adult. That is literally what young girls do. They the old he's throwing poo-poo at me, so therefore he likes me. And that's what she's doing.
Okay.
Plain and simple.
Yeah, because you often see that on the playground.
Okay, you see sand. All right. You see sand.
Yeah, but she was nuts. I didn't understand her argument at all, but hey, it didn't have to mix up. But she was irrational. So that was great.
I think the reason, I mean, her slew of emotions were all over the place in terms of obviously she calls the walkers by their actual names because it's mom, it's brother.
Until she's attacked by him.
Until she's attacked by them.
Now it's a walker.
Now it opens up a whole can of worms.
Yeah.
And I'm just going to go on record, and I'm going to say I believe she may have had an abortion. She may also have thought that Glenn was the one who got her pregnant.
Got Lori pregnant.
Perhaps that thought had crossed her mind. We get all nuts like that. Sorry, women. And lastly, if I haven't said it, I think she's had an abortion. That's why she's so mad at Lori, and that's why here's your kind of abortion pill.
So rather than be sympathetic towards her predicament, you think she's angry because she's angry at herself for what she did? Is that what you're saying?
Sure. Yeah.
Okay. All right. I didn't get that, but all right, that's certainly good. That's in the realm of possibility. I'm not going to argue that either way.
So the subtext could be there. If it's not, hey, I don't know. I'm trying to dig deep.
Yeah, I know. But I also thought that was really you're going to show no sympathy for the plight that she's in. You're just going to get all pissed off at her. And she's not the one that got you put in a position of being attacked by a walker. You did, Maggie. You're the one that said, "Okay, I'm going to go with you," because he said, "Am I wrong? Didn't Glenn say you didn't have to come on this trip? I didn't invite you."
But I guess it could be more simple than that. It could be the reason she's just taking out her anger and all the wrong things because she knows that eventually there's a light at the end of the tunnel. It's them leaving because that's obviously what her father wants, and he's going to make sure that happens.
Yeah.
And she just to the basic instinct doesn't want to lose.
Well, it was crazy. Here she is. She gets all pissed at Glenn because Glenn says, "Let's." Who did he tell for Dale? I guess. And so Dale confronts Herschel. So then Maggie's all mad at him.
To be fair, he didn't reveal the secret. Dale was smart enough to know that Glenn was lying.
Yeah, exactly. But then Dale said, Glenn obviously let it out of the bag. But here's what are you pissed at him for? You're the ones who have walkers there. Well, he didn't. Why is he supposed to keep that a secret?
Yeah, why is that his responsibility?
Exactly. He's like, you're the ones you have been lying about this since they showed up. What are you mad at him for?
Yeah.
That's like right there. What is she so ticked off about? What was that about?
That didn't make any sense.
And then she gets all mad. Here's the thing: how long was it from the pharmacy back to the farmhouse? You're going to stew that long, and then they have her. And this is why I disagree with the writers. They have her being so pissed off at her. I don't see how she could be that pissed off because, and I know it's TV time, but even in reality, she wouldn't wait that long to have that kind of anger. The anger would have dissipated by the time she got to the farmhouse. I just didn't buy that at all. I think that was so manufactured, which didn't make any sense to me.
Here's speaking of kind of manufactured. This is where I get really mad at people like Herschel, if I may.
Okay, let's go off on. Let's move on to Herschel anyway. Yeah. So the secret he reveals is why, of course, he's holding the walkers in the barn. So
so he's confronted by Dale, which I thought was a nice moment.
I thought it was a good scene. That was nice.
I like
Dale's smart enough to not blame Glenn.
Exactly.
Yeah, because he doesn't want Glenn in any trouble. So he says he comes upon the barn and hears the moans. Go ahead.
And of course he's a smart guy. So
of course he's
old.
Because he's old.
And they're both old. I like because obviously we haven't seen these two guys.
No,
so that's what made it a really nice scene.
He's like wise old man of each camp.
Exactly. Yeah. And for me, you guys heard me say this in the screen, but it was the fact of why it's not going to hurt to put more barriers or security. Like, what are you worried about? Well, if we put in more, it might be
safer. Yeah.
It's just
like, and that's such a stupid. Again, it's like, come on, he's not that lazy. First of all, he's not a dumb guy. You haven't painted Herschel as a dumb man. He's a smart guy, even though he's doing a not very smart thing by holding the walkers in there. He's not a dumb guy. So to say no, we have enough security is ridiculous. Yeah. Why would you say no to somebody's offer to help you make it more secure? That doesn't make any sense.
Pride. That's all it really comes down to for Herschel, I think.
Yeah, except again, I haven't seen him as a prideful person.
By the way, I would like to see Dale pull that argument on Herschel.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, honestly,
that was not working.
Full logistics against the doctor.
And once because he makes that out because Herschel declines it. Okay, well that's going to happen. Yeah, they're going to break out of that. I mean, we were talking about last week that they only had the one bar holding the barn doors. It's like, shouldn't you put something else on that thing?
The only thing was we thought it was going to be this episode.
Yeah,
I think in the mid-season finale, we're going to see why Herschel doesn't want them to do it, because based on the book, they're a bunch of morons. Every single one of them.
Who?
All of the survivors. The way they deal with the situation.
You mean our heroes? Yeah, like Rick and Shane, and they're all morons?
They're idiots.
That's from the book.
Yes.
Oh, well, hopefully they're not. Hopefully they've wisened up on the TV show.
I look forward to it.
So we have some inside scoop regarding the book. Thank you, Ben.
You got to warn out with the spoiler.
Yeah, spoiler alert. Yeah, let us know.
They're just stupid.
They're just stupid. So in the book, they're not as bright as we would like them to be.
But so what does that have to do with anything? So they would kill him? Like, what does that mean?
I don't know.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe not.
But why in the heck? Seriously, please, somebody help me. Anybody listening? Why would Herschel not decline? No, we don't need any more.
Again, it comes down to pride for him.
Because he read the book.
That doesn't work for me. Because read the book.
Ben, that is so cryptic. It couldn't be more cryptic. That's why I'm not even bothering with the spoiler alert. Yeah, it's not.
Yeah. How much do you like Dale figuring everything out?
Oh, I love Dale.
Dale's great. Jane goes, I'm going to stay. Glenn's I'm going to stay back. Dale's going to show me about spark plugs and he's over here. Dale, of course, knows Glenn's line. That's how he learned about Lori and the walkers. And of course, we learned later that he already knew about Shane, or at least had figured it out. And Lori confirms that by saying, So I mean, he is old and he does know things. Guy figured everything out. You got to like that.
I think he should be the leader of the camp.
He's wily. I'm telling you, the way he handled Herschel and not putting Glenn in jeopardy.
Well, I guess we should speak about it since we're kind of naturally progressing.
Sure,
Shane's secret.
Oh yeah, go ahead.
I mean, what do you guys think of the Lori secret? Finally, so it is Shane's kid, correct? That's what it came down to.
She said it's Rick's.
She said it's Rick's.
But
I thought she said it in the manner of like, no matter what.
Yeah. Well, I think they did that specifically to be somewhat ambiguous. That, she wants to truly believe it's Rick's. She doesn't. But how could she not think a possibility of it being Shane? I mean, the timing is just too difficult to figure out. You can't ascertain whether it's him or Shane or Rick. Yeah. I mean, clearly. So, I mean, obviously she wants to think it's Rick, because then she doesn't have to worry about it. Except if it is Rick's and she's deciding not to have it, then she's deciding not to have Rick's. But part of her is questioning. There's no way she can figure that out.
By the way, if this show moved a little bit faster, what would be ironic is if a couple years down the line, everyone was like, he has Shane's eyes, but he's got Rick's hair. You know what I mean? And like, your eyes look so much like Shane's. Yeah. No, the hair is so much like Rick's.
So we have that.
That would have been funny.
Well, so you obviously think it's Shane then?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, you think it's Shane. Did you have any idea? Or what do you think?
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know that it matters, but I mean, the fact that she doesn't know is the thing. That's the hard part.
Matter? Yeah. Because in this world, I don't think there's a way to, see.
Unless they're doing some sort of gene.
Maybe. I don't know.
Genetic testing. I don't know how they're going to find out. But Dale probably thinks it may be Shane's. I mean, how could you not think that? But
whatever Dale thinks, I agree with.
He's old and wise.
Yeah. The good that came out of, because I think for far too long, at least I have been wondering why you keeping this a secret.
Yeah.
And especially this episode, it was, you gotta tell Rick, right. And she had that great line. Yeah. I want a decision I didn't want it to be on your conscience.
Yeah. That was the conscience. Yeah. So that was the line that made me buy it. Because until then, I wasn't buying it. I was just going, what the hell? Why? What's the, for dramatic purposes or whatever. But you think the first person you talk to is like, how are we gonna deal with this? But when she said that, I went, oh, okay, that kind of makes sense. Yeah. So, but the other thing that didn't make sense about Lori's thing is she's all pissed off at Rick for not telling her that Herschel wants them to leave and they have to be gone soon. And she says, when are you gonna tell me? And here she is holding back her secret. So, I guess that's apropos for this title of the episode, being secrets to keep secrets from each other.
Well, speaking to that point, it also explains where Rick's hiding that secret.
Yeah.
It helps explain why he wanted Carl to get gun trained.
Right.
Versus Lori.
Right.
Had she known that,
Yeah.
obviously, I think she still would have been resentful.
Sure.
But I think that's why Rick pushed for it much more than he would have probably if they had stayed.
Yeah. That's another good thing I think between the two of them. They have really strong arguments about why their positions about why you should or why you should not learn how to use a gun.
Oh, that was still a gun control issue.
Yeah, that's right. We've had that argument before in this show, but it was nicely done in that one. Let's see, what else? What other secret was revealed today?
Well,
Those are the big one, the big one that Rick knew about Shane. Or obviously he had thought, he had surmised, but I'm sure he was confirmed by Lori that and I wasn't ready for his reaction to it. I thought something more was going to happen, but I guess he figured if the roles were reversed, I might have done the same thing. He was certainly not happy about it, but he understood it.
Yeah.
So, but I was waiting for him to go ask about the baby. Is that why you took the pill?
Could be.
I mean, he didn't go there. And it's like, how could you not go there? You just found out that part was just confirmed that she was with Shane, and yet you don't ask, you don't wonder, you don't say anything.
Here's what I'm worried for Rick as Rick.
Yeah.
And this is not to say that if he goes here, the writing's bad because this is like a natural progression of character, and
right.
This is the way it's going. I don't want. He's becoming almost starting to be self-loathing.
Who, Rick?
Yeah, in a sense, because his power over this camp is diminishing.
Right.
It's the whole. I think we'll get more into his predictions, but if you kind of think about it, although I think this should have happened a lot sooner in terms of its natural progression, the finale will make sense because obviously it's going to be Rick versus Herschel, and it's going to be Rick taking whether or not he takes charge of this camp or not.
Well, yeah,
and then will it be Shane?
Well, exactly, and you can already feel them going separately. Shane's already said that he's already questioned Rick's judgment and him not making hard choices, and so obviously I would think that in the ultimate episode, or the mid-season finale, as everybody's calling it, that the hard choice is going to have to be made. And of course, I don't think Shane's going to think that Rick's up to the task. He's not. And in fact, in the trailer, he says he's not ready for this. He's not right for this world. So his world, meaning Rick's world, before when he was in charge of everything and wasn't in a paradigm that he could handle, he was great in. But now that everything's shifted and it's not the same world, he's not ready for it. At least that's
it's the equivalent of a peacetime commander versus a wartime commander.
Wartime consigliere.
There you go. And this isn't necessarily a secret, but I do want to talk about it.
Sure.
Shane and his dealing with Andrea.
Yeah.
And how he crossed the line too far. And it's really showing his true colors. I mean,
you mean when he's teaching her how to shoot?
Yeah. I mean, you so get the fact that was Shane's childhood all along.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. You think so?
Oh, guaranteed. He was like
Shane was his father. I'm assuming.
Yeah. Okay.
Where
that's how he was taught, so that's how he's going to teach her.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like no matter what, he's still. As he says, so I forget the exact line because he's speaking so fast, but it's basically like, I can be hot-headed, but I'm still going to be able to shoot correct.
Muscle memory, shut it down, shut your feelings down, all that stuff, which she's already said before, but it was interesting. I thought it was great that they actually showed it, her trying to do it and all that stuff. The thing that didn't work for me is all of a sudden, she's so rattled in the beginning, and then she takes one shot, hits Walker in the head, boom, she's good. I can hit everybody in the head now. Don't get me wrong, I'm glad she did. I liked her shooting gallery, I thought she was doing nicely. But it's like, what, that's it? There's no learning curve for her, there's a light switch, I can't do it until boom, I hit one, oh, I can hit them all, look at that.
Maybe she could do it all along.
And just didn't allow herself to do it.
Yeah.
So, but I like that, it was nice to see the Walkers coming out and coming after them. Did anybody like that?
Yes.
The shooting gallery, so to speak.
It was a nice burst of energy.
Yeah, thank God. Something was going on.
Much needed.
Finally put into jeopardy. And again, we're still trying to find Sophie. This thing, if it's just me, I'll stop talking about it. But it's just driving me crazy. It's taking so freaking long to find Sophie.
No, I agree. It's she's been gone for 6 episodes.
Yeah, she's gone for the entire mid-season, so to speak. She's gone. She's not even there. I stopped carrying on season 3 about it. I keep trying to make it happen. And it just seems ridiculous.
Yeah, they need to move on.
Find her
We've
already.
been saying this for so many weeks in a row now.
And I think the problem isn't necessarily that they're at this camp. I realize, if they just kind of forgot that part of it.
Yeah,
and just kind of develop all this other stuff.
Yeah, this thing. For instance, T-Dog, why are we? I was just saying this. Why are we utilizing him? Why come he's barely in the show? Let's go. Let's have something happen with these people. Especially T-Dog. He's barely in the show. Daryl didn't even talk about him today.
We had one kind of scene.
One, yeah, well, that's true. One little scene.
He was a tent.
And again, thank God, because that one little scene with him was, Andrea, of course, is upset, contrite. She apologizes and he forgives her. He says, "But you ever shoot me again, you better make sure you put me down." Whatever his line was. What was his line?
You better hope I'm dead.
You better hope I'm dead. Yeah. Best pray I'm dead. Yeah. That's great. Again, it's a great line. No, I forgive you. And it looks like everything's gonna be okay. And then, yeah.
And I think,
by the way, before you leave,
I think they added that in as because next episode we're gonna get the mother of Sophia confronting Daryl and saying, the search is over.
Yeah.
I think we got that snippet again.
Right.
I don't know.
Even she finally comes to her, is like, look, we don't want to lose you too.
Yeah,
It's
exactly.
too important to the group. So somebody finally realizing something. Oh, that would have to be
Totalitarianism at its best. Finally giving way.
Yeah. What's that?
Finally giving way.
Yes. Good.
That's kind of everything. There's no other secrets, right? I mean,
Well, there were no other secrets, but there was one other thing I wanted to chat about. I can't remember what it is at the moment. You guys talk amongst yourself while I look at my notes and see where it is.
Ben, where's your notes?
Yeah.
I didn't take notes.
Oh, good for you.
Thank you.
That's why you contributed
That's a good
least to
thing.
this conversation, young Bottomley.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Writing
He
is
doesn't need to get a
hard.
mind like a steel trap.
But let's Talking Dead. I'm kind of surprised that they do it at midnight.
Well, I think it used to be right after. They just moved it.
No, it was right after.
Yeah,
But
and now it's 'cause
Hell
Hell's on
on
Wheels
Wheels
Oh, okay, because I want to keep that audience going, I guess. All right, that makes sense.
So now you know.
Oh, let's talk about, we usually do this before the break, don't we? Don't we talk zombie kills before the break?
Yeah, let's talk something.
Yeah. So, okay, favorite kill? Anything?
Pharmacy.
Gotta be. I mean, that was the best one, right?
That's the only
Glenn goes nuts.
Yeah.
I mean, for me, it was kind of it was Andrea and Shane.
Shane pick him off?
Yeah, that was fun. And I wanted that to be more because I wish the car was like 800 yards away.
Yeah,
So-
so they chase through, go through a few more.
Exactly.
Yeah, that was it was strange. And I'm going in pharmacy when Glenn picks up the shelf of all
Yeah,
things.
he
What the
picks
hell's he
up
going
the
to do with the shelf?
I saw
he
that,
has
and I was
weapons on him.
Yeah, he has that knife.
Yeah, like a perfect knife. And I go, what is he doing with the
But
shelf?
I guess it was effective.
I know, but it just seemed odd. I mean,
yeah.
he could have had the same effect with the head bobbing off
Yeah.
with the knife thing, because he could have just hit him on the neck or whatever.
He's a smart guy.
He's
He's better
a
than
smart
us.
guy. I just, no, that's not really smart. Let's use a shelf. No, but it was cool, though. I thought that was a great effect with the head hanging off a little bit. And it was nice to see Glenn go at it.
Yeah.
That's cool.
And speaking to that scene, I think it was great that we got that brutality because obviously spoke very much to Maggie of like, oh my god, these
Right.
perhaps aren't real people.
Yeah,
they're walkers.
and that's what I think was missing for me in that scene, is that I wanted Maggie's realization to go, okay, now you've been infected, now you see what we're up against. So those people who you know aren't who you think they are, or think
There was,
how they were.
there was a shot of her close up for like 5-6 seconds.
Where? When?
As he's I forget. So Glenn, we see the machete go through the head.
Uh-huh.
Then we cut to her.
Yeah.
And then we get her. Again, I think it's it almost felt like we were on there for like 10, 15 seconds, but I know it was, it felt like that. It was more like 5, 6.
Yeah.
And then we cut to her POV, Glenn. Just basically, we don't see the body.
Right,
we just see him picking up his arm.
Yeah, but I didn't have any kind of connection to her and her understanding that this isn't this walker, how that relates to the people she thinks she has in the barn. I didn't. There wasn't enough of that for me. I wanted more of a realization from her, and I guess they didn't want to spend time on her. But anyway, it just didn't work for me. That part.
Would have been clever. Should have like when they got back, like they kind of walked by the barn or something.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I wanted. I wanted where she would, even if she just that was in the background and she heard them or thought about them or something.
Yeah.
Of course, that would have interrupted her anger towards Lori, but it would have been much more effective to me dramatically.
Well, I think the kiss could have happened. If you want to kind of get really subtle, at the point the kiss could have happened with the barn, and this is at the beginning of the episode. There's that shot. I forgot who's. Actually, I think this is when they're feeding them. So
right.
You
shot the barn in the background.
Yeah,
I like that shot.
So they just
they should have done that. Yeah.
And then she like turns around and then hesitates and walks off.
Yeah, there could have been something there. I thought it would have been nice to bring that up because otherwise, what's the argument? There's no conflict there. There doesn't seem to be any questioning about what they're doing by putting these walkers in the barn. Yeah. And I think you need that.
I think Maggie's going to go against the father.
Yeah, that's what I want. At least give me some conflict there. It's too easy to do it the other way. So, all right. Well, let's move on to our break, shall we? Take us away from
Want to find out what the AfterBuzz is about?
Genesis, this is the divide that is going to carry the series.
Give us a call. 424-256-1729. 424-256-1729.
They're television and they want to be as dramatic as possible.
Means Siberian.
You never know what goes on behind closed doors.
Find out why AfterBuzz TV is the #1 source for after-show content.
Now, in the eyes of Jimmy, Nucky is a villain.
424-256-1729. 424-256-1729.
I mean, who would you rather hear that from? Your husband or your best friend?
The wig!
When the TV show is over, get your AfterBuzz on. AfterBuzz TV News.
All right, what do we got for news? Anything?
You guys have nothing?
Well, the only thing I had was really the news, but it was just a nice acknowledgement, shall we say. Last week when Phil and I were doing the podcast, Ben wasn't here with us, of course. We were talking about the first scene and wondering what it had to do with the rest of the show. And then, of course, we're wondering if it was a flashback, if it was a dream, if it was a flash forward, etc. A lot of people writing in about that, saying it had to be a flashback because of X, Y, or Z. It could have been a dream because we never saw them use napalm in the first season, so that could have been a dream of Lloyd's, etc. Anyway, well, first of all, I just want to thank everybody for writing in and giving us their take and putting us to task and schooling us on what could be and what could not be. Still a lot of, everybody, of course, most people think it's a flashback, other people think it's just a dream. Not many people, everybody, wanting to think of it as a flash forward. But anyway, thanks for writing in. We appreciate your thoughts and what you're telling us, and we really want to hear from you. So please continue to do that.
And in dreadcentral.com, Lori Holden talks about the character of Andrea.
Yes.
And she obviously speaks about the shooting with Daryl. So I'm not going to give I'm not going to give anything away.
Okay.
So check that out on dreadcentral.com.
All right. And so who else? Somebody had some comments about Andrea. What were they?
I believe we touched on them last week. It was like as soon as that happened, because obviously there was a commercial break where she shoots, and then we come back, and during that intermission, it was everyone on the boards, the forum boards, the message boards rather, wrote in, "I swear to God, if she killed Daryl, oh my God,
exactly.
I'm personally going to
exactly because everybody likes Daryl, nobody wants Daryl dead."
Exactly.
But then of course this week when she's shooting all the walkers, it gets her all excited. She gets all turned on. It gets the adrenaline flow. And of course she has to have a tryst with Shane.
And I guess this is
and again Dale figures that out. How does he figure everything out? I'm telling you, that's amazing. Why? Because he's old.
Yeah,
that's right.
This isn't really news and gossip per se, but I just want to say that next week will obviously be sort of the mid-season
finale,
and then we will not be back until February 2nd.
Yeah,
2012.
Crazy. And I think it's ridiculous. I don't know why they do this.
That's a really long break.
It is a long break. I'm not exactly. I mean, actually, in this case, it might be because we have more and more people being upset with the show for not moving it along faster and wanting more from it. So I don't know. Maybe we're gonna retool.
Well, here I guess I can obviously see it because they have the holiday break.
Yeah.
I don't know why February.
Yeah, why so long?
It reminds me of Gossip Girl. They take very, very long breaks for that show. Network shows usually it's reminiscent of network shows where they end second week of December, come back first or second week of January. Some shows go longer. Glee has a long hiatus. They go on for like 7-week hiatus. It could be because hopefully it's because of production. Where they're really trying to perfect something. And so I hope they use that time to their advantage.
Right. Hey, the other thing we didn't talk about real quick was the Shane and Dale showdown. Dale confronts Shane. That was a good scene. It's a powerful scene.
That was good.
Dale, of course, knows who he is. He's seen
turn on the music.
Yeah, right.
No,
we don't have any other news, so this is going to fill in for our news segment. So we did all our little news things. But so what do you think of that scene? I mean, I thought it was great. Dale finally somebody confronting Shane and telling him who he is and what he is and that he knows.
Yeah. Shane handled it in all the wrong ways.
I know, it was great stuff. It was classic Shane. Say the wrong thing.
Yeah.
But it's true. If you really think that of me, why are you saying this? Because what do you think I'm going to do to you?
But I thought he was being sarcastic to a certain extent.
Oh, really? You didn't find sincere a threat or anything like that? You just thought he was being sarcastic?
To an extent, but I don't think Dale by any means took it sarcastically.
Yeah, I don't think so. I thought Dale, no, that's a threat.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't put it past Shane, honestly.
Yeah.
I mean, he doesn't know what happened to Otis. I should say, Dale doesn't know what happened to Otis, but he knows what happened to Otis. Let's face it. Dale he figured it out. Yeah. So, I mean, that's nasty stuff, man.
That was. So before we get into predictions for our mid-season, why don't we tease it with another commercial right now?
Nice.
AfterBuzz TV. Hi, I was once like you, a lazy, angry loner whose only joy was watching TV and surfing the net. And like you, after I'd see one of my favorite TV shows, I'd be so excited and have so many questions that I'd actually have to talk to my douchebag coworkers about it at the water cooler. Then I discovered AfterBuzzTV.com. AfterBuzz TV produces after-show webcasts and podcasts for TV series of all kinds, like post-game wrap-up shows for all your favorite TV shows. AfterBuzz TV hosts are industry insiders who break down episodes of shows, take calls from fans, and interview cast and crew from each series, with over 60 different after-shows, from Boardwalk Empire to American Idol to Vampire Diaries to Real Housewives and more. Now, after a night of TV, I can ignore my stupid coworkers, who I hate, and go straight to my desk and watch or listen to all my favorite AfterBuzz TV after shows, and have all the TV fan interaction I need. Thank you, AfterBuzz TV. AfterBuzz TV. What do you want to buzz about?
What the hell was that? Oh my God. Well, thank you, Phil. I've actually never heard that, so I appreciate you bringing that to my
Thank you, Sir Richard Wentworth,
Richard
voiceover announcer.
Yes, that was terrific. Thank you, Rich.
Rich. I love when he comes up with these bumpers.
Oh, he did that on his own. That's nice. I'll have to give him a call and thank you personally. That was nice. Oh, okay. Predictions. Anybody have anything?
Mid-season finale.
I predict they're not going to find Sophie. They haven't found her yet. Why bother finding her now?
I think, as we kind of see, I guess we're going to really give up hope.
Okay,
on Sophie.
here's the thing. This is what I think they ought to do. Sophie should come back as a walker.
She should.
And then we should see how they deal with that. They're going to shoot her. What are they going to do?
Yeah.
Because especially if they don't understand why Herschel has these people in the barn. If she comes back like that, then that sets up a whole new thing. Great conflict of, do we do this? Do we not do this? How can we do it? She's a tiny little girl.
Do we end on a happy note?
No.
Question.
No. Better not.
No, we're not. No, we won't.
We can't. No, this is not a happy show.
But like the last season was 6 episodes.
Yeah.
And they well, I guess 7 if you count the premiere episode being so long. And then the kind of riding off into the sunset kind of ending with brighter future ahead. Then get this whatever. We're not gonna end like
no. We got somebody in danger, so that when we get back, we don't know if they survived or who died and all that kind of stuff. I don't want to have a happy ending.
Things are coming to a head. Obviously, Rick, as I said, Rick versus Herschel.
Yeah. They got to get out of the barn. I hope what they do is, Sophie. They find Sophie. She's a walker. I hope everybody comes out of the barn.
Comes.
That's what I mean. She shows up.
Yeah. But you said find her.
I beg your pardon. She shows up. I mean, however, she's along with other walkers. She's one of them. Is like, now what do you do? Put them in a serious. That's a mind.
Well, that's going to help Herschel's case with that.
Exactly. That's my point. Is like, okay, if you're not willing to do that, then you can't take these people out. But then they get out. Now what do you do? So I mean, either way, I hope both of those things happen. I want both of those things to happen, and I predict if they did that, this would be a way more interesting episode. How's that?
I concur. Does Maggie stay or does Maggie go?
Well, she wants Glenn to stay. Yeah. It looks like she wants. So the question for me is Glenn going to stay or is he going to go? She's paving the way for him to say, Sean, look, they don't appreciate you. I do. Stay.
Well, I think hopefully. I don't know. The ideal situation would be that they all go.
Yeah,
they're all forced to go.
I think
so that's the only way that's going to happen.
Yeah, they gotta
I've said this numerous times. Just get attacked by 800 zombies.
Exactly.
You gotta go.
Here's the thing: if they all go, meaning Herschel and his family, then you got Herschel and Dale. I mean, is that a good thing or a bad thing? You got two old guys, wise guys. Do you want them both in the show? Or do they sound the same? Meaning their voices, their point of view, they sound too similar. Do you want them both in the cast, or?
I think they're different.
Yeah, you think they're different enough there?
I mean, because again, why we saw that great scene today. Yeah, that was great because they had different points of view.
Yeah, I'm just wondering. They both have kind of a similar. You got the older guy with the they're both wise. I'm just wondering if that would work out when they're because right now they're good. It works because they have different agendas. If they're all on the run together, their agendas may not clash as much. Although they can make it clash. It's just that I would wonder. I would question that whether that's a good idea or not because they represent the same thing to me.
Fair enough. But even so, like as long as there was a goal of the group. Right now we're seeing a lot of individual goals. We're stopped.
Yeah.
We can allow for that to happen. But once we're on the road, then there's a common goal.
Yeah. Well, we've kind of lost that common goal about surviving and all this stuff. I mean, yes, it's always surviving, but because we've stopped, we've lost that drive. Yeah. So it has to be, it's been diluted and roughshod, spread out like that. All these individuals' goals having. Okay. Any other predictions?
Nah, Ben, you gotta give something here.
What's up?
Well, I don't know what I should say.
Yeah, because you took no notes.
No, because he read the damn book.
And I don't want to be spot on about everything and ruin it for everybody.
Well, here's the thing, but it's different from the book in many ways, right?
Right.
Okay.
Yeah,
So now that you've read the books, rather than say what was in the books or how it compares, maybe you can give us your insight and what would be a nice way, different than the book that would make it even better. Anything there about being at this farm and what would happen next week or for the finale here?
I would like the entire farm to get overrun.
Yeah.
I'd like the situation to be much bigger than they can deal with.
Yeah.
And force everyone to vacate. But I'm not sure if we're going to actually get that.
Do you think they're avoiding the big, huge run just because it's just too expensive to do, or just they just don't? Because why wouldn't you have the big onslaught of walkers everywhere and we just got to shoot our way out of here to survive? Let's get out of here. Is that just too much of a production budgetary issue?
But here's the thing: they had massive scales of that last season,
right.
6 episodes almost.
Yeah.
So.
Well, that's what I'm wondering. Why aren't they doing it? It worked so well for them. They're not doing it this season. I'm just wondering what could be the reason why they wouldn't. Because they're tinkering with their success. I mean, that was a formula that worked last year, and they haven't really done that this year. What would be? Are they setting it up so they can really have a huge one, or is it like we can't afford it? What to do? Why?
I don't know. I think it's wrong. I think you could have. You had a steady $5 million. You had those $5 million excited to come back for season 2. You had in between that 12-month period, you had a whole build up of other fans. Yeah. So I think
Yeah, no, that's why I think you got to capitalize on. You got to bread and butter is what they were going for, and now it doesn't seem that.
Yeah. So. And it doesn't. I mean, all you need is a few extras.
Yeah. That's why I can't understand it. It doesn't make any sense to me. And I'm just wondering if anybody has any thoughts on that. So, I don't know. All right. Well, that's it. Okay, so we got another predictions. We're good. We're done.
That's it.
All right. Well, we have successfully done our podcast on the penultimate mid-season episode. Mid-season finale. What the hell? All right. I don't like this mid-season finale crap. Just give me the season.
No. Here's the thing. Maybe because I'm used to that term.
Yeah.
Because it's coming out for so many.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I just think it's I think it's all trying to be marketing because they can't get their seasons together. So just give us the season. Just do a good 13 episodes. Why is that so hard to do?
I mean, it's more like cable.
Yeah.
Not cable. It's more like network. Where you have mid-season. But
screw that.
I'm just saying. Hey, how about this, John? Have a happy Thanksgiving, people. Thank you for listening. You guys are the greatest.
I'm with the fans. The fans want it better. So do I.
You know what? I was just like it fast. I had no problem splitting the thing up into 2.
Well, I wouldn't either if it was actually really captivating, and but the fact that it isn't drives me crazy because I want it to be. And then, why? Not only did you not give me a great, exciting, thrilling ride here, you gotta break it up and make me wait for it. And you gotta keep me wanting it. That's my point.
Well,
but hey, happy Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving. I think I'm really hoping something great for next episode.
I do too, and I'm still gonna, I'm still faithful. I'm hoping that they'll do that.
Season 2, Part 1, The Search for Sophia, will end next week.
Thank you for listening.
From producers Kevin Undergaro and Phil Svitek, engineer DJ Jesse Janity, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. If you have questions or comments, be sure to buzz us at info@AfterBuzzTV.com. And you can find us on Facebook or follow us on Twitter by searching for AfterBuzz TV.
Well, see you later, walkers. And happy Thanksgiving. Don't eat too much zombie.
Views expressed herein are those of the host only, do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.
Hey, AfterBuzzers, before we move on to your next topic, we just want to say thanks to our sponsor, Anchor. If you haven't heard about Anchor, it's the easiest way to make a podcast. Let me explain. It's free. Plus, there are creation tools that allow you to record and edit your podcast right from your phone or computer. Also, Anchor will distribute your podcast for you so it can be heard on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and many more. Plus, you can make money from your podcast with no minimum listenership, and it's everything you need to make a podcast in one place. Download the free Anchor app or go to Anchor FM to get started.
You're listening to the AfterBuzz TV network, now the largest new media platform on the web, and your #1 source for after-show entertainment. From the AfterBuzz Studios in Los Angeles, California, and streaming live on Ustream, this is AfterBuzz TV for The Walking Dead. We'll